Alright, so today we are hitting up Auckland's oldest restaurant, but without its detours, of course. But first we are heading to Cheese on Toast in Three Kings / Mount Eden for some toasties. But yeah, join us for our main event where we're going to be going to Tony's Steakhouse, which is the oldest operating restaurant in Auckland City. But you may be wondering, AG, Tom Cruise is older than Tony's. It's like barely 59 years old. Wow, Tom Cruise is 59, he still looks like that.
It's just the Scientology in it.
And also, if you saw our Wellington series, we went to Wellington's oldest restaurant. Now we're going to be going to Auckland's oldest restaurant. So, let's go. Alright, first spot of the day is Cheese on Toast here in Mount Eden, but not like the main Mount Eden. It's like the other side of Mount Eden that we barely go to. It's a very cute neighborhood spot that obviously specializes on the quintessential Kiwi Toastie. I'm so excited. Yeah, there was a bit of a line this morning, but we've ordered and it's disappeared. But you know, it's a very popular spot. Let's get some toasties. So we finally got our toasties. I didn't even realize like they had an iconic eat last year as well. So this is their
this is the one they got. This is the cream corn and it has a capsicum salsa. I love corn, so I had to get this one.
Oh yes, and then there's the caramelized bacon jam, which is a caramelized onion jam with bacon bits. I'm very excited. It looks very, it looks like crispy and toasty.
Everything is like perfectly toasted. It's like golden brown. Okay, cheers. Oh. That's a good toasty.
It sounded crispy. Yeah, open it up. Oh, look at that. Why? Oh, is that that's the capsicum?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got the corn, the cheese, the capsicum salsa. It's very nice. There's like, obviously a bit of the sweetness coming through from the corn. It's very creamy, very cheesy, and then you got the crunchy, buttery toast outside.
Alright, so I shall taste the caramelized bacon jam. Oh my.
God tier toasty, you would say?
I would say, oh no, it's starting to rain. But whatever. Yeah, the weather's gloomy, it's rainy, but we've got this toasty. Oh my god, I'm like obsessed with caramelized onions. Like, it's a bit of a backstory. Back when we were kids, like we'd always cook like sausage sizzles for like breakfast and stuff. And that was like the first thing I learned how to cook, which was like caramelized onions. So basically just waiting for onions to caramelize, which doesn't really take much skill, but oh my god, it's so sweet and savory and
it also comes with like pickle.
Oh yeah, it comes with pickles. I'll add some of the pickles to it.
For a bit of a tartness moment.
The pickles give it that light touch. Very good. You want a bite? Yeah, period. Have a bite, yeah, weird. Yeah, it's really good.
Very sweet and oniony.
Yes.
I prefer the cream one, the corn one, because I prefer corn over onion.
No, fine. Let me.
But very good.
Let me steal a bite then. Definitely well.
Yeah, they're like both really good in different ways. It just depends on what flavor profile.
Yeah.
This is very Aliana flavor profile. The other one's very agey
It's
flavor.
the creamy. It's the creamy and the corn.
Yeah.
You know? That's real good. Also, I must say, the bread, it's a top tier toasty bread. Like the bread is like has turned almost into like a bread chip. That's how crispy it is. Someone's eyeing our toasties.
I just said off camera that this might be my favorite toasty. It's just very me. Like, I don't know, there's something about it that I just really like.
Rename it the Yummy
The cream corn toasty.
How was that final bite? Very good. All right, let's go. Alright, we have taken our seats here at the famous Tony's Steakhouse in Wellesley Street, the oldest restaurant in Auckland since 1963. And let's throw it back a little. What happened in 1963? That was the year JFK got assassinated. Ooh, Brad Pitt, Whitney Houston, Michael Jordan, and Johnny Depp was born in 1963.
Wait, Brad Pitt is that?
Yeah.
I really like the layout here. Like, see this? We're in a bit of a booth. I don't know. There's just something about restaurants that have like the comfy seats that I enjoy. You know, it's quite private. We don't have to like overhear people next to us. You know, it's really nice.
But yeah, as you may have noticed, Tony's Steakhouse it's only 63 years old, which isn't old like in terms of like world standards. There's definitely a lot of restaurants that are like 100 years old or more. Like some of our grandmothers are way older than that. But you know, we still gotta pay respects to our legends. The vibe, like it honestly feels like it is way older than 1963 just from the decor alone. This actually used to have 3 branches. It only has 2 now. One of them was in Lawrence Street where this Korean restaurant called Kaya is now. Another one of them is in just across the road down the CBD, and we're here at the original location in Wellesley Street. They actually started off as a spaghetti parlor. I think like they still have like spaghetti bolognese, which is one of their OG items. But yeah, they really started to become popular when they introduced steaks into their menu, and then they became known as Tony's Famous Steak. So that's what we're getting today. Let's see. Mulled wine. You know, I've always been intrigued by mulled wine. It's just like wine with like, this one's brandy, and it's like brewed. I think it's brewed with aromatics and spices. You know, it's the middle of winter. The weather's been the worst today. Let's taste it. Interesting. It's like wine, you know, because like, there's like an orange peel right on top. So like that's definitely the first hit. That's definitely the first hit that you get. But you know, it's very comforting. You know, like I feel all the comforts of winter. All I need is a fireplace. Oh, look at this. Good old-fashioned steak knife.
Can you see my reflection?
Like now, like maybe back in the day, this was just a normal steak knife, but nowadays it's probably considered a murder weapon. You know how
maybe
times
you can
change.
see my reflection.
Oh, can I? Where?
Oh, you can see the red dot.
Oh yeah.
I got their seafood pasta. It's pretty much just like a seafood marinara sauce because news alert, I am not really a huge fan of steak. So I'm the only one in the family who didn't get steak. But my brother did say they did start off selling pasta. So, you know, gotta test it out. Alright. Yeah, it has like a bunch of seafood, just like mussels, prawns. Pretty decent, very simple. Once I kind of dig into the seafood, I'm sure the dish will kind of amp up from there. Prawn. Very plump. Speaking of seafood, we got a prawn cocktail. I don't think I've ever had prawn cocktail before. But it's always like those dishes that you see in movies where they have like prawn cocktail and it's like supposed to be like really fancy. It's like, oh, Great Gatsby vibes. But I actually don't really know what the sauce is made out of. Do you know? It looks like it has mayo and ketchup, but we will find out. It's pretty much like a Thousand Island sauce. Yeah, it's like really refreshing, really cold. I love prawns, so that is a really good starter actually.
The times change, but the message stays the same. Alright, for my main, I got the carpet bag steak, which is apparently like a really iconic steak here. It's it looks a bit smaller than the steaks that my parents got, but I think it's because it's a filet mignon, so it's like the more expensive cut of steak. But it also comes with some oysters, some Brussels sprouts and garlic, and some very thick cut fries. You already know what's going down. Tomato sauce. I'll put some on the side. Oh my! Oh, there we got some flow. There we go. That's for later. This assassin with this butcher's knife, pretty much. Oh yeah, very. That's what I was wondering. It's stuffed with more oysters. No wonder it's like a bit expensive because it's got oysters in it. That's the surf and turf we like to see. I also asked the lady if, you know, are there any sauces that would go well with this? And she was like, nah. You gotta appreciate the flavor of the oysters, and you know, I shall agree with her. I will take her very wise advice. And right away, you can kind of tell why putting on sauce is unadvisable because the oyster has like a nice, you know, seafoody, briny flavor. It's just a bit, it kind of melts in your mouth as well. It's not mushy. It's a very interesting surf and turf. I've never had oysters and steak before. And Brussels sprout. Nope. Simple, and that's good. And the fries. Very nice.
I mean, you know, back in the day, back in the 60s, when your food choices in Auckland weren't exactly the best, you know, having steak like this would have probably been like peak cuisine back in the day. People would be like, oh my gosh, you stuffed an oyster and a steak? Oh my goodness. You know, I shall add a bit of pepper and maybe some salt, you know. Better. This is not like my favorite food in the world. I don't really go out hunting for steaks or like food like this, but just like the Green Parrot in Wellington, you really do appreciate like the vibe of the place, how it's been here for quite a while. It's been serving Aucklanders for many decades. The atmosphere is incredible. You really feel like, you don't feel like you're in the 1960s, you feel like you're in like in the 1800s or something. You just love simple, consistent food that's been nourishing Aucklanders for many generations. And you know, the steak itself, you know, obviously like it's just pretty simple hunk of steak, well cooked, has like a nice char on the outside. How was it?
It's good. To be honest, I make better steak.
Oh yeah,
it's good.
Of course, yeah. Of course my dad makes
Company's
better.
good.
The no steak club.
No steak, yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm a beef tongue type of gal. Because it doesn't taste like steak.
I think the only steak she likes is my tenderloin tips with mushroom gravy.
Oh
What I
yeah.
make at home.
Like when he like cuts it up basically.
Oh,
And then just put like
Yeah.
so basically when if it's not in a steak form anymore.
Yeah, steak form with gravy and mushroom, and siyempre with rice.
Oh yeah. of
Rice
course.
is life.
Yeah.
Eating it by itself. I just don't like eating steak by itself.
No, that's fair enough.
Yeah. But I like beef, but I just don't enjoy steak. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, like more than 10 years ago, I spent a birthday here. It was fantastic. I was like obsessed with steaks at that point, I think, in my life. And we went to Tony's. It was so good.
Watch this. Yambi. Oh yeah, Yambi's getting her tattoo tomorrow. Yeah. It's a mixture of yays and boos, isn't it?
Yay!
She's the only one cheering.
When you're older, you're gonna regret it.
I'm gonna be edgy actually.
Yeah, that was a vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great atmosphere. Great seats. Oh, and the service is really nice.
Yeah, very nice service, very kind.
They're very lovely.
So yeah, I mean, another great food day, albeit very bad weather. So how'd you find the food today?
Oh, I'm still eating it.
Oh, that's alright.
Our
Like
dad bought a Mississippi cookie,
Yes.
so he gave me some of
Yes,
it.
but I will speak on her behalf. You know, some excellent toasties from Cheese and Toast, and of course, eating at the oldest restaurant in Auckland. We always love experiences like that. Yeah, I think.
It brought us back to our
Yeah.
childhood. You know, like it's one of those restaurants where you're like, oh, back in the old days, we used to go to Tony's Steakhouse.
Yeah, exactly. We treat meals like those more of an experience than like actually
Yeah, like at
appreciating
that point,
the
I
food.
don't care about the taste. I'm there for the vibes
Yeah, exactly.
and the cultural, historical significance.
With that being said, I will end the video there. Thanks again for watching another one of our food and travel videos here in Auckland. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.